What did I buy now? So you might notice the headlights. These are headlights and assemblies off of a 98 that are custom mounted to the 85 core support, because this is a square body. Most likely the headlights are off the same rig that the Vortec 350 came from. One of the reasons I wanted to buy this truck, it was a Vortec 350 with a carbureted intake on it. The intake alone, if it was an Edelbrock, would be worth like $200 or $300. This appears to be an off-brand one, but I mean it's still worth $150 for just this intake. Lots of silicone there of a couple different colors. It looks like the carburetor's even silicone down. That's a big no-no. Throttle return spring. I can't say I've never done that before, but I don't recommend it. That oil does not look good. They were saying it got water in the oil from the hood being off. Oh yeah, by the way, there's no hood, and I don't think there has been for a while. I mean, it could be as simple as the fact the oil cooler from the Vortec is hooked up to the, oh, by the way, the radiator's also out of the 98. Custom mounted in here. We got a bungee cord on this side, and I was gonna say a ratchet strap, but no, this is like some sort of other type of strap. Far point. Good thing we got zip ties holding the wiring harness up out of the way of this radiator. Got the overflow tank here. Got another zip tie there. This is the throttle cable. Must have been out of the Vortec. I don't know. Looks like we got some of the Vortec. I'm really not sure why they're trying to integrate like the Vortec diffuse panel into this. Steering rod is actually out of the newer truck also. That ground's not hooked up, don't need that. This was power to that. This must be the current ground that's ground to this aluminum bracket. We got quite a bit of this 98 Chevy stuff onto this. Well, did I say this is a square body? Core support's just been chopped in a straight line to make it more square. So I mean, this indeed is a square body. And of course he did mention, oh yeah, by the way, it did catch on fire once. No big deal, I've seen worse. Explains why that's melted, whatever that was. They were telling me about the custom transmission cooler that's installed but not installed. We've got tranny lines just running. Oh, that's good. I was also told that this is a nice feature, this remote transmission filter. It says Nissan on it, so I don't know what this is out of. But this is a square body. We've got this custom bumper here, custom tube bumper I should say, because this is a piece of tubing here, nice and nicely cut off and welded solidly to these brackets that are mounted to the frame by, well, if that was a weld, it's not there anymore. I guess this little loop bracket here that bolts, it ties it all together is what it does. There's two of them. It also acts as like maybe a push bar or push point, maybe. The original bumper support brackets are there just to solidify. Oh, no. Apparently those welds did not hold either. Don't know about that side, but I'm going to assume the same. I better check for myself. Oh, no, that is not mounted anymore. I think the weld broke, if that was a weld. This side, I mean, it's, oh, hello. Maybe I should just put that back in. Kind of nice, these pieces are chrome too. Square body, right? I don't know what this side marker lens is off of. That's probably part of the original lens. This, maybe, is that Nissan? Maybe that's what that transmission fluid filter thing came off of. Custom clearance fenders here. Just make it work. And it made it work because this thing clears 35s, well, LT 315, 75 16s, which are like a rated 35. They're bald, so they're not quite a rated 35 anymore. I mean, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, that's like 50% tread right there. These rims, I was kind of interested in these rims. I haven't seen too many of these rims before. They're not my first initial favorite type of rim, but the fact that I don't have a set of these made me want them. I mean, there's no need to tighten all the lug nuts when you've got 8, 7 is good enough. Surprisingly, not a whole lot of rust. This cab corner is dented in, a little bit of rust under it. This whole bedside's pretty wiped out. We've got the custom paint job on here. I mean, when I say custom paint job, I mean, we've got all the graphics. Got more custom graphics there. I don't know what gasket that was. Maybe that was Nissan. I don't follow these nice straight lines back. I mean, I can't even tell I didn't use any masking tape on this. But don't be confused, this is a GMC square body. The paint job wraps around nicely. We got a nice bullet hole there. This has been clearanced for these high tread tires. Not bullet holes. I'm going to assume this is where some bigger mirrors used to be mounted. And over here, a little more custom clearancing and some clearancing here. We got, oh, that's a good ground. I got to hook that back up. Metal riffing screw that just ties this all together. This is the original lens. More custom paint right there. A little bit dented there. Again, not a whole lot of rust. I guess there's a little bit, but you just beat that up in. You don't notice it as much. Let's try to get in here. Uh-oh, I closed the door all the way. We'll just go to the other side, but I mean, we got this nice orange undercoating. Spare lens. This thing was full of trash and some tools, so they took the tools and thankfully also unloaded the trash, at least the majority of it. It does have this nice rack that's been heavily beat on during its life. Drip rails are gone, and this is a square body, right? It does have a 60s dash though. I've never really seen this done before. Not saying I hate it, not saying I like it either, but it is different. Again, some more orange undercoating. We got some nice custom seat cover here. I think this is a tarp. So now I put 2 and 2 together, or 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, or whatever numbers best represent this truck. The fire now explains why there's a different dash in here and why the wiring's a mess. I'm gonna assume that it starts with this key still, the original, you know, and this here is just hose clamped on, you know, more for maybe it's a backup switch. I don't know. Maybe it does start off this. I haven't made it that far yet. We got all kinds of wiring hanging down here. That's been singed. Did notice underneath the shift cable from the 98 is bolted to the pan of the Turbo 400 but not hooked up. I'm not sure if they were going to go with an aftermarket shifter, because right now the column shifter is hooked up to the column, which is bolted underneath the 60s dash. That looks a little low there. I haven't actually sat in the driver's side seat yet. That's crispy. A little more of this orange to cover up the smoke damage. That's probably a good mounting spot. Don't think the heater works in this though. So we're just gonna scoot on over here and open this door. Maybe. So this door is now permanently closed. Okay, now I got it open. We've got a nice round patch panel there. I'm gonna assume that's rusted through. A wiper delay box is there. Look at this. We've got the square body headlight switch into the 60s dash. We've also got this toggle switch that I have no idea what that does, and it's very stiff. Very stiff. Wonder if the wipers are still gonna work. Looks like we got some moldy welding rod sitting here on the dash. 208 shifter still hooked up. So again, here's our patch panel from the top, and here's our patch panel from the bottom. Definitely did rust through there. These supports are good. Right there's our transmission linkage is actually still hooked up. We got some sort of custom keeper pin there for the factory linkage. I don't know why the cable linkage is hooked up, but it's from the not a square body 98 that the Vortec motor came out of. This exhaust, I mean, the muffler is it's there. It's probably not going to fall out either. We've got it custom clamped here. Oh, we got oxygen sensor there that's just not plugged in anything. Custom bend comes around, goes through this flexi piece, goes right into the muffler. That's mounted onto the cross member very solidly. I mean, that's just not going to go anywhere. The other muffler, on the other hand, we might have to do something with this, because this is a Dyno Max muffler, which looks a bit longer than the other side. We only got a single wire holding it up, and that might rattle and make some noise when you're going down the road. Got some plumber's tape that's custom. Maybe that was an exhaust hanger for the other side when it had a longer muffler on it. But I mean, that other side, it's pretty solid. I mean, the best way to make sure your exhaust system is not going to fall off is to first cut off your e-brake cable and then take the part that's still there and wrap it around the flexi pipe so that it just holds it all solid in there. You know, for most of these trucks, I'm very surprised that dust cover has been put back on and is installed. Okay, all the bolts aren't there, but it's installed. That line, I don't know what it is, but it's a little bit low. Might drag a little bit when off-roading. And believe me, you do want to go off-roading in a truck like this. More zip ties. I don't know what that was mounting. Oh, I'd say this tire has been rubbing on that. 14-bolt semi-floater rear. Don't know what's going on with the cover there, but it looks like a big bolt that's just like welded poorly to the cover. And it looks like a milkshake running out. Some of these plug wires are MSD wires, high dollar stuff. I don't really know what the plan was with the fuel system, because this saddle tank's gone. That one's still there. But we got the old electric fuel pump plastic tank out of the Vortec donor back here in the bed that I think was the plan was to plumb that in. I'm guessing. I'm willing to bet all the gas was siphoned out of this. This is a different set of wheels and tires that I picked up when I was coming home and threw back here. There's still a little trash in the bed, but it's not up to here. I've seen and smelled nastier trash, but I mean, it wasn't great either. It was definitely soaking wet and gross. I got these custom side boxes here. Let's see what got left in this toolbox. Not a single tool worthwhile. Got this cutoff wheel. Blue paint with a little bit of the orange highlight. Wonder if that light works. I'm willing to bet that one doesn't. Oh, this side does have the drip rail still on it, but that's going to have to be fixed if this is going to be show quality again. Do we dare look behind the seat? Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, we'll just clean it. This side of the dash has been mounted a little more flush with the side. The hood release is completely seized up, which is okay because there's no hood to release. Oh, this is actually like a dual round pattern floor patch. Make that a triple. So what did I buy? Well, I bought some parts. I bought some wheels. I bought this knockoff brand Vortec intake. I'm going to assume this carb needs to be rebuilt. The other guy that was there was telling me about how he had found it in like a $5 pile or something at some thrift store. I really do want to try to start it because then I can test out the transmission and everything. But then he also reminded me the starter was bad. Overall, the price came down enough to where it was still worth buying for what's here. And I got this nice set of wheels that I don't necessarily like. I kind of wanted them, and now I do. So on that note, I think it's time to roll this square body off the trailer. And we'll see you next time when I drag home something else. Maybe it'll be the rig that I left on the opposite end of the state. I still got to go back and get that. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.